Welcome, everybody, to our next session for the Student-Led Virtual Summit this week. We're really excited for this presentation, but I want to start off with a little bit on what Students for Innovation is. So me, along with a few other students, founded Students for Innovation around a year ago, and it's a student-led initiative focused on advocating for innovation in the classroom, whether this is talking about the new tools that are emerging, like artificial intelligence, or talking about what we can do to make the classroom experience better for students. And we've had presentations on diplomacy, on incorporating more financial literacy, and personalized learning. And so today we have a very exciting presentation for you all. First, I do want to take a moment to thank School AI for their support throughout our journey. They've been supporting us along the way, and they're actually sponsoring us to go to ISTE later this year in June. So thank you for that. And I also want to say thank you to Miss Alana Winnick for all her support along the way and for giving us students a platform to share our voice and talk about what we are really passionate about to make change. With that, I want to have the kids introduce themselves because they are the speakers for the day.
Hi, welcome to this presentation on how elementary schoolers can use AI. Today we'll be diving into a fascinating world of AI and how elementary schoolers should be able to use it too. Today you'll be learning all about AI with me and my friends Ocean, Vera, Ipsa, and Kent, and I hope you enjoy.
It's important to learn about AI in elementary school because when you get older, you're gonna have to be able to know how to use it, or else when you get out in the real world, you're not gonna know how to use it because everyone will be using AI and you'll just be the only one who doesn't know how to use it, and it'll also help you become successful in your future.
For me, in my classroom, I use this app called School AI with other people in my classroom. And it is very useful because you could create your own AI chatbot. And there are lots of things that could help you with the School AI chatbots. One thing is that it could help you study with anything. Let's say I have a test tomorrow. It can help me give problems, and it helps me learn about things and get more confident with the test. And you could do other things too, like creating something or making a plan, and it's very useful.
Little kids have lots of questions, and not all the time your teacher can answer those questions for you. And sometimes they might get annoyed at you. So you can definitely just use AI to help you with those questions. And it doesn't always have to be it can't always like tell you the answer. But if you're really, really stuck, it can help you. So you don't need everybody to you don't need to keep asking and asking, and you don't usually get a straight answer.
If you have a worksheet, it's not really as fun as AI because a worksheet, first of all, it can't help you. You just got to write it yourself and you don't really get any feedback or help. But when you use AI, you can get help from it by asking questions. Like paper can't talk, but AI can, and it helps you a lot if you ask the right questions.
AI can help you if you're stuck because, like, let's say, because in school we had a math test, and if we got something wrong, we could say like on this I got number three wrong, and then it tells me the problem, and it asks me how I got stuck. And then if I tell it how I get stuck, it can help me, and then it'll give me some practice questions.
So for me, I think this thing about how AI could help you if you're stuck is very useful because it's not like you're going to get every single answer correct straight, and if you get something wrong, you are going to be stuck maybe, and you don't understand what the question means, or it can mean something else from what you're thinking, and then you'll get the question wrong. But AI can help you fix that and give you feedback from it, and tell you some key points to help you to solve this problem. and you could get better, and now you could get good grades, and it is very useful.
Also, if doing that math test, for an example, you could say, can you give me some practice questions if you want to practice more? And it'll give you. And then if you got the whole thing right, you can ask it for something harder. And then it'll give you like the same kind of questions, but maybe like one or two more steps. And then if you got it right, it'll give you harder ones. Or if you got it wrong, it'll give you the same kind of problem.
AI can challenge you also by like you ask it for help and it might not give you as much help because it kind of wants you to do the work on yourself too, because AI can't just give you the answer sometimes.
So we use different AIs for different things. One of my favorite AIs is the Translingual Art Partner we use in my classroom. It helps us with words. So, like, if we were reading a book, books are really fun and nice to read. But if you don't know what any of the word means, then it just is not really as fun. So, and so that you can ask the Translingual Art Partner a word and it can tell you what it means. Like, if you didn't know what like glacier meant, then you could ask it to what it meant and it would tell you. And it can also tell you in different languages. If you ask it, it always does default to Spanish also, but you can also ask it like, could you do it in French or Japanese? Oh, and also you can like ask it like, I'm trying to draw a picture of it. How do you draw a picture? And it will give you like step-by-step instructions.
In our class, we all got jobs, and we had an AI to help us figure out what job we wanted. So it would give us a long list of all our jobs, and then we can write a job that we might want to have, and then we can say, like, I wrote, I want to be tech support. What are some benefits? And then it said, awesome choice. Being tech support is like being a superhero who helps with computers or tablets that aren't working right. You get to save the day with tech skills. What do you like most about technology? And then I would say, what are some things that are benefits about it? And it said that you can be like a problem solver and a helper and a learner. And so I liked that, so I wanted to pick it, but if I didn't, I could choose another job and ask the same questions.
So for me, I think this could also help a lot because when you are picking a job, you will know what will help after you do that job, and you could get better at things. Like maybe you want to be tech support. School AI says it's a problem, so you could be a problem solver, a helper, a learner, and if you really want to be those people, and then you could do a tech support, and then you could learn more from it, and you would be a very good person in your life.
Here are some of the other AIs we used in this school year. My favorite one was the fake news co-creator because we were learning that you can't always trust everything you see online. And we used the AI to help us make our own fake news creature page.
When we were doing our painted essays, that helped us because, so first we do our red paragraph, it's a hook to draw our audience in so they want to read more. So you can ask it for some like phrases that want people like that ask people a question and they want to learn more. It doesn't tell you exactly what to write, it just tells you some of it so you can make most of it up yourself. Also, we did the Be a Hawk. That's like in our school, we have like Hawks, which is H honest, A accountable, W wholehearted, K kind, and then S is safe. And so you could ask the AI some ways that you could be like a hawk. And we have a lot of other AIs that aren't on this.
Another AI that we used was the Pourquoi partner. We did a very, very, very long unit on frogs. And one of the things that we started with was Pourquoi tales about frogs. The example one was, why does the frog have a long tongue? And the pourquoi thing was like, it's like the facts and all of that is true, but the story is fake.
Here's some helpful prompts we used while we were using AI. Like, explain it to me like in 5, and use bullets just to help organize the writing a little so it isn't too overwhelming at once. And also, if you're researching a specific thing, like let's say I was researching about like birds, then I can ask it to break it up into bullets and it'll put like where it lives on one bullet, what it eats on another bullet, like what it does on another bullet. And then if I'm looking for one specific thing, I can easily find it without having to read the whole entire thing.
These helpful prompts can be used in AI chatbots, and it could give you information that you can understand, like explaining it to me like I'm 5. It might have adult vocabulary if you didn't put that in. Use bullets. It's going to be short and easy to read. Give me 5 examples. You'll be understand why something is something by knowing the 5 examples, and then compare it to something. It is very useful because you could find out what's the same and what's the difference about the things, and it is very useful to use these prompts. There's lots of other prompts you could use, but these are one of the top 5 I think is the most useful.
Another thing about the explain to me like I'm 5 is that it like gives you more, like it gives it, because if you didn't say that, it could be like explaining it to you like you're a genius. It could be like the square root of 7 is divided by 3 versus like this. I don't know. It could be like a really hard stuff that you don't know. But if you explain to me on like I'm 5, it can say the exact same thing, just easier to understand.
Compare it to is also like something you're passionate about. You can add like soccer because I play soccer, or like you could do something in school. And it's also like better if it's something you're passionate about, because if you say like those math problems like Bob went to the store and got blah blah blah, and then it's definitely better because one is something you're passionate about, and two, it's definitely a little better and easier.
Also, AI can help students who haven't, like, if I were to look like everything about like a type of bird and I looked in the library and they had no books, I can literally go onto AI and AI can tell me anything I want. Besides like going on a wild goose chase, looking for this piece of information that you can just easily search up with AI and you can get some credible things. But it's not always credible, so it's always good to check your sources before you like look at information.
AI was able to help me when I was researching about a biography. I was trying to find a book about a famous baseball player who's Japanese, like me, Shohei Ohtani, and I couldn't find any books about him inside the library, so I couldn't find any information about him, and I saw I couldn't write about him because I didn't know too much about him and I couldn't find any books. So the only way I was able to learn about Otani was using AI, and it was really able to help me with my education. And I think I really did pretty good on my presentation about Shohei Otani.
So, what AI says isn't always true, and you should always cross check with a website you trust or an adult.
You could be a detective or use something that's credible by Perplexity, which right now you can't do that, but maybe you can later. And you could take out sources from what the AI said, and it's really helpful because now you could take the uncredible sources like Wikipedia or YouTube. There are plenty of sources that are not credible, and you can turn your information to be sure that you have information that you know.
And we were learning about people who have jobs that are called trades, like people who do jobs where you don't have to go to college, but they're very important still. So we were building Neverland because we read Peter Pan. And then we wrote in my Neverland, I want to build like blah, blah, blah. And then it'll tell you trades that can help you build that. And then it said engineers, and it also said marine biologists, but those need to go to college. So if you tell it that, it won't make that mistake again with somebody else. That's why you should always tell AI when it's wrong, because you don't want to get wrong.
So me and my friends, we were like trying to get a picture of a nurse and a football player, and but when we did nurse, it said it just like all of them were girls. And when we searched up football, they were like most of them were like the football that you throw. So you should be specific. Say American football player if you want an American football player. And for the nurse, you should also just be like, if you want a male nurse, you could just be like a male nurse. And that it's bias sometimes. The AI can be biased.
AI is not always cheating depending on how you use it. So if you were to just search up something, like if you're on a test and they have your computer and you search up, write me an essay about cats, and that would be cheating because you are copying, pasting what the AI says and putting it onto your work. But if you were just to like say, can you help me edit this essay about all about cats? Tell me what I could work on and what I could fix. That wouldn't be cheating because you're using it correctly.
So for me, I think cheating can be a way for teachers to be scared about AI. And some teachers think, oh, students are going to use AI and they're going to cheat and they're not going to learn from us. And this is just going to be annoying. So, and then they just don't use AI. And I think that's why teachers are very scared of using AI sometimes.
And also cheating, it's kind of depending how you use it. If you use it like as a tool, then it's not cheating. Like if you ask for help, but if you ask for the answer, then yes, it's cheating. Unless your teacher tells you you can use AI, is you can use it. And if you use it, if they say you can't use it, then it's cheating too. One thing you need to do when you're pulling information out of AI, you have to take your information and AI, well, your knowledge and AI's information and blend them up. And we call it remixing and DJing when we take our information and combine it with AI's. And you can also not use AI's information only because then that'd just be plagiarism.
If you don't tell the AI to not tell you exactly what to write, and you just copy what they do, it's not your work. It's just the AI's work. And if you tell them to not exactly to tell you what to write and to give you some examples to remix, that's technically still your own work because you're asking it to give you some examples and you're remixing, or you're just asking it to get you started.
So this is like the difference between giving feedback and cheating with AI. Giving the answer is basically cheating because you are not learning but more of copying, and it's not good to do that. But explain the answer means that you want the answer, but you want to know how the AI got the answer. What was their idea of you doing their answer? How did they do it? What things did they do it? And it just teaches the person about how to do something when you just say explain the answer more than give the answer.
And you also have to be careful when you use AI. You have to be specific. Prompt 2, I say generate a real cute kitten, but I used two things wrong with it. I did real and cute, but yeah.
So pretty much when I said real, AI probably has no idea what that means. And cute is like an opinion, because if some people might say, oh, that looks disgusting, and one person might have said, oh, that looks adorable, and they have two different perspectives totally. So in the other prompt I did, I put photograph, because I think AI would know photograph from real, because real could be a real cartoon, or real could be real of anything, like real clay or something. But you could put like real, you could put photograph to show, oh, like a photographer would take a picture of a real kitten.
AI can help students who can't speak English because it can translate what the teachers are saying to them if they don't understand what they're saying. And I had this before because I am a Japanese American. It said this says Japan here, and it is really helpful for AI to translate what you're saying. And the translingo can also work because it translates what you're saying. Like it could say it in French, German, or any type of language. And for me, I had this experience before, and I was not able to learn what the teachers were saying, and I was not able to understand. So I ended up having to learn English by a teacher, and if I was able to use AI, I would have been better off by myself, and it would have been very helpful. And School AI also lets you switch the language, and it's really helpful because whenever you're scrolling on all the languages, it could translate like a snap, and it is really good to use. So I think this is what I was should use.
One thing we also use is kind of AI generating. Like we use Canva, Designer, and Padlet. And one thing we did was we had TED Talks and we had to create an image of the thing we were doing, and we had to use AI to make it. I used Canva and I got an image of a girl playing soccer. And there was also one thing where we wrote a poem and we kind of had to like put the make our poem, then put it into AI, and then we had to get the image out of AI. And if it wasn't what we wanted, then we'd have to like kind of edit the poem to try to get it to get the image we wanted.
And again, we have to be specific with what we're saying with our prompts to create our images. Like for me, I had it to be specific because when I wrote create an image of a boy, it wrote a American boy younger than me and was dressed like a superhero, which I don't understand why AI did that. This has to be a little more specific, but if I get it pretty specific enough, it's gonna look exactly like this. And there will be less bias in the pictures.
This also helps us be creative and bring our ideas to life because we can kind of just design kind of what we want.
And so we love generating pictures on AI. So some places we do that is Padlet, where that's where all the frogs are. We were making frog stories, and we were all generating a picture of a frog. And so we just went under a name and we did the AI. And under that, we were doing fake news creatures. We were learning that AI is not always, like, it doesn't always tell us real information. So we were making our own fake news creatures. And so then we generated them on AI, and that was mine. The one with the trees and the water. When we were doing our Peter Pan unit, we all generated our Neverland, and that was mine.
So whenever you're using Canva to create images, there is this thing called AI image generator, which used to be I can't draw, but it was negative, so they deleted that. And
that's Padlet.
what?
That's Padlet.
I know.
You said Canva.
Oh, whoops. So Padlet might say like I can draw, but they took that out because it was negative, and now it's It's image generator, AI image generator, and something that I don't like about the Padlet image generators are that they take just way too much time for me. I'm not patient, but it just takes like 2 minutes sometimes just to create one image. So for me, we were able to learn how to train AI models by doing this thing called machine learning. First, I was able to do it in AI club, which ended right now, but Miss Winnick showed us lots of apps that we could learn to machine learning. And one was called .org, which was comparing which one is trash and a fish by training it. And it was very helpful because I was able to learn how AI trained itself. And it was the same thing as QuickDraw. Tens and millions of people wrote pictures to train an AI in QuickDraw. It's made by Google, so it's a very fun game where you draw a picture and AI has to what you wrote is the picture or not that AI told you to write. Like a lobster, I may draw a lobster. It might say, "Oh yeah, correct. That's what a lobster looks like." We thought that at first there was AI couldn't guess any pictures when you're doing machine learning with QuickDraw, but now it's simple and easy for it. And it's because it has lots of pictures to help it. And Teachable Machines is another app to help you, and it lets you do machine learning by putting in pictures to train your own models, and it is very helpful because you could do 2, 3, or more, and maybe you could make like 5, and then you could just put a picture, and then it just gets helpful because you can make AI do machine learning about how something is different to something else, and it's just really helpful.
For the smaller kids, we did code.org where we taught the AI model to clean the ocean. It had to clean up trash, but not fish. And since all fish look different, we had to train it not just to leave red fish, but to leave also like blue fish and green fish. And we don't want to tell it only one specific kind because then it'll kill other animals that are also supposed to be in the water.
I hope you enjoyed this presentation on all about how elementary schoolers can use AI, and not just elementary schoolers. Everybody can use AI, no matter how old you are, and it can help every single school. And for teachers who don't think that AI can help your school, that's okay, but you should start looking into it because it can be really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. You.
Thank you.
Thank you. What? Thank you.
With that, I want to talk a little bit about Students for Innovation again. So just like this week's summit, we are going to have a similar summit next year. And we actually do have our proposals, request for proposal open for next year's summit. So if as an educator, you know any students who are really passionate about innovation and making change in the classroom, like many of the students that we've seen present this past week, definitely suggest them to go fill out the RFPs for next year's summit. It's a great opportunity, just like all these students who have been presenting this week. And then we also have the opportunity for a student to start a chapter at their own school. And this is a really great opportunity because it allows students to make change at their own school. So they'll be able to see the impact that they're having on their own communities, which is very powerful to see. And the other great thing about starting a chapter of Students for Innovation is that you'll be able to make change at your own school while also having the support of the team at Students for Innovation that we will host monthly webinars with you. We'll be able to, you'll be able to reach out to us if you have any questions with anything that you're trying to get done at your own schools. And so there's also the opportunity to join the leadership team. And for students, they can fill out the application form for this on our website. And as an educator, we really recommend that we would really like if you recommended students to fill out our form or if you sent us their contact information because we're always looking for more students to join our core team. And then I also want to shout out that, like I mentioned before, Students for Innovation is sponsoring us to go all the way to ISTE in Texas this June. And I'll be having a conference on how AI enhances thinking in writing. And I would really, really appreciate it if you all came to join and watch my session in at ISTE.